This is Ethan, and you know, I've got some things that I would love to talk to you about, and some ideas that I have for you. But is there anything on your tennis mind? Now, you're a good little player that's growing. One thing that's you actually have a tournament today, right? And Ethan's starting to play tournaments. He's building some strong techniques, and he's a good player, just like all of us, with a host of things to improve. And you're on your way, pal. Do you have anything as far as your tennis that you're thinking about or questions about?
No, but I'm getting sores right here.
You're getting some sores in your shoulders?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a great discussion to open up with, okay? Classic. Look at tennis players going to get, I won't say we're going to get hurt, but along the way we're going to have these sort of things happen to us, okay? So probably just some tendonitis in the rotator cuff, which is so typical of tennis players. And what I would say for you is this: the good thing is you're a kid and you heal very quickly. So there's a chance that it's just a conversation today. But let's talk about how we actually deal with injuries, because I think it's hugely important, and it's important for you, because you're looking to have a long tennis career and you love the sport, right? And you want to play a ton. So a couple ways. One, we're going to talk about how to deal with when you have an injury. Maybe injury prevention. One, injury prevention, make sure that you get a warm-up. Now, we're not going to today, we don't have time to do a big formulaic warm-up, but if I were you and I came to a situation like this, I would have already done some body work. Maybe the goal of a warm-up is to warm the body up, use some dynamic stretching to kind of open it up, and then maybe some sort of juggling or something hand-eye to sort of get your mind awakened to the day. That's an aside, okay? So maybe, hey, if you're starting to feel some pains, make sure that you're putting a little physical warm-up in before you start any activity. Now, here's how we treat it. Can I see your racket, please? So what do we have in here? Right, it's poly. You're working with some poly and you've dropped it. Now, you've dropped the tension recently, which I think for you is a good move, because you're looking to get a little pop on it. And with tension, we need to find that balance between control and power. So I like, even for this, that you've brought the tension down. Now, if this continues to be a problem, once we've talked about how to deal with the problem, well, we're gonna cut this out. We're gonna put in a soft multi-filament, because there's no, poly is standard great string. It maintains tension, gives a spin. There's a lot of benefits to it. But if we're young and we're building some tendonitis in our arm, and maybe we don't even know the right poly to use, or the gauge is a little too big, we don't want the pain, right? So if we can't get our finger on this pain, what we're going to do is we're going to cut all this out, and we're going to put in a soft multi-filament, and we're going to let you work with that until you've got that problem under control. Now, here's how you handle an injury, by the way, okay? Two things we want to do to an injury, okay? Listening. One, we want to strengthen the area. The old ethos is ice and rest. Boom, don't do it. Ice is going to limit your inflammation. Inflammation is what heals the arm, okay? So ice should be used. Maybe you break your arm, you need to put a little ice on it, or maybe you're in a tournament and you have a pain. Okay, we're going to ice that night because we're going to bring the inflammation down so we can get through our tournament. But in the end, it's actually counterproductive. Okay, what we want to do is get in there and start loading it and start getting some strength and some blood into the area. So for a shoulder, what I would recommend is this, maybe these 3 exercises. One, that are just simple. We get some light weights or we get some bands, and we're here. I like to roll the shoulder in and then roll the shoulder out here. So do it with me, please. So put your racket down, please. Ready, so let's get into this position. Okay, like here, right? So we're down, breathe in, now out. Yeah, in. And we roll the shoulder out. And really just focus on your body and feel like building your strength some here, okay? We want to build muscle around the pain. Here's a simple way to deal with injury. Look at, I'm halfway to 92, right? Still play this game all the time. Run into this stuff all the time. Don't need to go, all I do is this process. Let's build some strength around the pain, and let's stretch out that area, okay? So we want to do that. Okay, and then the other one we want to do is we want to get in this position right here. Here, get into this position. Yeah, get into also, I like a compression with this. We don't want to isolate. To me, one of the biggest, what you don't want to do as a tennis player is isolate muscles. We always want our muscles working together, because this is it's like you look at the guys in the gym, right? They can't do the racket. You know what I mean? You give them a racket and they're not handling it well. So we don't want hypertrophy, I think it is, where you isolate muscles and you build strength in individual muscles. We always want to put our muscles together. Okay, so let's just get into a nice compression here. Now we're going to roll it down, and we're going to roll it up. Work your breath in. Cool. So we want to do that one. Now my other favorite one is probably maybe a little bit beyond you, but who knows, is maybe you even have a kettlebell or you have a weight and you're here, you roll in the shoulder and then you're out and you're rolling the shoulder this way. In, so come down with me, do it, so mirror me, yeah? You would actually want to do, I'll do the left hand so that we're looking at each other in the right way. Go ahead and bring your knee up the opposite, so you're looking into a mirror right now, okay? So we're going to come down, ready, here we go. Roll in, and then out. And what I would suggest for you for these, and now you overcooked that a little bit, but that's okay. Very light weights if you're gonna do this. Because one, you don't know what you're doing yet. You don't have control of your body and you haven't spent time with weights. So, but it's an opportunity to start learning this process, right? Is how do we deal with injuries? They're gonna come. And maybe not major injuries, hopefully, but tendonitis and that type of thing. And I'll tell you this, you wanna prevent injuries? Flexibility, okay? Building a mobility process daily, which means some call it stretching, mobility, what you want, but daily, starting to open the body up, get the body to move in more flexible positions. So you also want to stretch that out. We're going to get to some of the tennis, and we'll talk about maybe some of the stretches that you can do for that shoulder later, okay? Because stretching also with kids can be a pickle because you're not quite in tune with your body yet. But I want you to start those strengthening exercises for sure. Got it? Do it. Cool. So we're going to do that. Anything on your hold a racket, hit a ball mind?
No.
Okay. Here's what I see for you, your personal game. You're really coming along. Okay? It's looking good. Let me just give you an up to down, and then we'll talk about a couple things maybe that we can do today. Okay? One, hands are looking good. You're starting to develop your volleys. Ready position at the net. You're too close in, and because of that, your backhand rotation is compromised, right? We want to be here to allow for this, and then here to allow for here. And at this point, you're kind of tucked in with the elbow. Probably won't look at it today. If you look at your forehand, and let's take a little peek at your forehand today, okay?